Hello, all poetry lovers. Welcome again to my channel, Lata Singh #Leo. Those who are new and coming first time on this channel, kindly subscribe so that you don't miss on any video update. Well, the poem I have chosen for today is Fire and Ice, again written by Robert Frost. And we have already done two or three of the poems written by Robert Frost: To a Butterfly, The Road Not Taken, and Dust of Snow, right? And this is the fourth poem that we are going to do. So, without further ado, let's start. Here are some informations I have shared about the poet. You can go through, and then there are few questions I have kept. If you go through the questions very minutely, you will get to understand what are all the points which you need to focus while listening to this audio or while watching this video. Okay. Robert Frost has jotted this poem with very simple and easy words, though it seemed very easy to understand. But there is a very deep meaning inside this poem, and it is delivering a very strong and an alarming message to the world. Reading the title, you may understand that it's a very easy, it's something about fire and ice. But don't get confused, because fire and ice, these two words, are consisting very deep and hidden meanings. They are just symbolism. Fire is a symbolism of greed, avarice, cruelty, lust, right? And ice symbolize insensitivity, coldness, indifference, and hatred. The main idea of this poem is how the world will come to an end through fire or through ice. The reference of fire and ice is said to be taken from Inferno. Inferno in Italian, it means hell. Inferno is the first part of the epic poem Divine Comedy, written by a famous Italian writer of 14th century, Dante Alighieri. The Inferno tells the journey of Dante through hell. He was guided by the ancient Roman poet Virgil. And in this poem, hell is depicted as 9 concentric circles of torment located within the earth. It is the realm of those who have rejected spiritual values by yielding to bestial appetites or violence, or by perverting their human intellect to fraud or malice against their fellow men. So, Inferno is all about the kinds of punishment a person goes through in the hell. Now, let's begin with the reading of this poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. The opening two lines of Fire and Ice poem establish two important aspects of the overall poem. Firstly, they make it clear that this poem is a work of eschatology, means this is about the end of the world. Secondly, they establish the poem's conversational tone, which is deliberately a little at odds with the gravity of the subject matter. So, the first two lines also set up the poem's key antithesis, as the speaker considers whether fire or ice will bring about the end of the world. Well, till now, the symbolic meaning of these two elements, fire and ice, is not yet apparent. Indeed, the speaker talks in a very simple language, almost as if, gossiping about someone or something, like some say. This is all about luring the reader into a false sense of security before the poem unleashes the disarming depth of its thought. सो द पोएम स्टार्ट्स विद द लाइन्स कि कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि दुनिया आग की वजह से ख़त्म हो जाएगी, कुछ कहते हैं बर्फ़ से ख़त्म हो जाएगी. सो इन अ वेरी कॉन्वर्जेशनल मैनर, बहुत ही सहज लहजे में पोइट कहते हैं कि वो नॉर्मली बात कर रहे हैं कि वर्ल्ड किस तरीके से ख़त्म होगा. सिंपली वो कहते हैं कि कुछ लोग ऐसा कहते हैं कि कुछ फायर को फेवर करते हैं, कुछ आइस को. बट फ्रॉम वट आई हैव टेस्टेड ऑफ डिज़ायर, तो यहाँ पोएट कहते हैं कि जो मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया है अब तक डिज़ायर, नाउ हियर इज़ अ कंट्रास्ट विद fire and desire. Here both are synonymous. So understand it very clearly that fire stands for the desire, greed, violence. Okay. So here the poet is saying, whatever I have tasted, whatever I have experienced of passion and desire, I hold, I favor with those who favor fire. आई ऑब्वियसली स्टैंड विद दोज जो लोग फायर को फेवर करते हैं. तो फायर का सिम्बॉलिज्म आप लोगों को समझ में आ गया होगा. इट्स ऑल अबाउट ग्रीड फॉर मनी, बैड हैबिट्स, intolerance, right? I hope with the given visuals you can better understand the symbolism of fire. Now let's proceed to the next stanza. But if it had to perish twice, perish means to die or to destroy twice. तो यहाँ पोइट अगेन ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर दोबारा वर्ल्ड को डिस्ट्रॉय होना हो, आई थिंक आई नो इनफ ऑफ हेट टू से दैट फॉर डिस्ट्रक्शन आइस इज ऑल्सो ग्रेट and would suffice. In stanza 2, the end world scenario brought about by ice could be interpreted as an ice age or the death of the sun. It becomes clear that the ice is not primarily, but indeed it is sufficient to destroy or to bring the destruction of the world. Second line of second stanza simply establishes a relationship between ice and hate. So here you got the symbolism of ice also. Ice refers to hatred, insensitivity. And in the third line it is said to say that for destruction ice is also great. That the poet says that well, he have already experienced of passion and desire, lust and greed, but he also favors to those who says that ice means insensitivity, hatred. It's also great to bring the end of the world. Here it is noteworthy that hatred symbolized by ice is more about indifference or a failure to empathize. So this way, within the 9 lines, and that too very simple lines, the poet has drawn a very important and alarming message inside, a wake up call for human beings and humanity. Now try to understand the connection between fire and ice. Fire comes to stand for inflamed passion, greed, bloodless scenarios in which humanity brings about destruction by acting rashly and violently. War, of course, would be a prime example. And so the poem is gently suggestive of the kind of wars that could bring about the end of the world. Contrary to the substance of fire, ice works differently from it. Like human destruction doesn't have to be bright, noisy, and violent all the while. Hate can spread in more subtle ways. Ice has connotations of coldness and indifference, and so a possible reason to bring the end of the world that could be brought by inaction rather than some singular major event. For instance, take climate change. If people fail to act over humanity's effect on the climate, it will gradually but assuredly bring about the destruction of the world. By the poem's end, the words fire and ice, though utterly different in literal sense, here represent one and the same thing. And that same thing is the destructive potential of humanity. Either method will suffice or is sufficient to bring about the inevitable end of the world. This poem offers a powerful warning about human nature, and it is really a wake up call for all. So, if this poem touched your mind, it's time for your heart to start working towards compassion, towards understanding, and towards holding hand of each other, supporting and guiding each other, being sensitive towards each other, avoiding conflicts that is going on all over. We need to spread love, compassion, sensitivity, and we need to sympathize and empathize with each other and to hold each other's hand in the time of need. Hope you all have understood the poem thoroughly, and it's time to give you the answers of the questions I have given in the beginning. So let's take a look on the answers. Coming up to doing the rhyming scheme of this poem, let's see. The first line is ending with the word fire and the second with ice. So fire and ice obviously not rhyming. So to fire we are giving alphabet A, and to ice we are giving alphabet B. Coming next, desire. The third line is ending with desire and the fourth again with fire. So desire and fire both are rhyming with the first word. Okay, so to fire we have given alphabet A. So desire and fire will again become A. Okay, so the rhyming scheme for the first four line is A, B, A, right? Coming to the next stanza, the first line of the second stanza is ending with the word twice. Twice is already rhyming with the second line last word ice. Okay, so ice and twice, so let's give it B because we have already given it above. And the second line of the second stanza is ending with hate is not rhyming with the above, like fire and ice. With AB it's not rhyming, so let's give it C. Next is ice, again the same, B. And next line is ending with great is obviously rhyming well with the hate, so great and hate, to hate we have given C, so great will also become C. And last word is suffice ice. Okay, so ice twice suffice will give them B. So the rhyming scheme for the second stanza is B, C, B, C, B. For the whole poem, the rhyming scheme goes like A, B, A, B, C, B, C, B. Got? Now it's time to wind up the session. Do share your valuable feedback and suggestions in the comment section, and also like, share and subscribe if you really liked and understood the explanation. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay home and stay blessed.